Part 1. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 1. Naruto World, Hidden Leaf Village, in front of the ninja school. A pretty girl about 8 years old, with fair skin and white eyes, suddenly woke up from a nightmare and looked around blankly. She didn't know what she thought of, and her face suddenly changed drastically. No one knew the overwhelming horror in her heart. Isn't this the body of my leader when he was 8 years old? Why is this leader here? Isn't this leader going through a catastrophe? Could it be? Is this leader back? There was an incredible look in Hinata's eyes. Not only did this leader not fall into the catastrophe, but he was reborn back to the time when the Second Ninja War had not yet begun. Hinata Hikaru, also known as Tongtian Cult Master, was originally a true disciple of Sage Jia, one of the Sunin of Konoha Hidden Village. When he was about 8 years old, he was taken away from the Hyuga compound by the third-generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and he embarked on the path of cultivating immortals. Her talent is astonishing. After graduating from the ninja school, she trained from a genin to an elite jounin in 1 year. She is known as a peerless prodigy who has been building the Hidden Leaf Village for decades. How I even controlled the ninja world and proclaimed himself the leader of Tongtian. It's a pity that she eventually fell into the disaster. But this time she came back to I. The morning sun slowly rose and shone on Hinata's cute little white face. What was even more strange was that her eyes were exquisite and clear white. Blind eyes. Hyuga Light Seal very skillfully opened the Hyuga clan's blood inheritance limit, Byakugan. Veins popped out from around her eyes. Not only did this not detract from her cuteness, it actually added an inexplicable majesty to Hinata Hikari. Observing himself with his Byakugan, Hinata found that all the terrifying chakra disappeared without a trace. Naturally, there is no trace even of her exclusive weapon. Look at this leader has really come back to me. Facing a very weak body that could be easily killed by a kunai, Hinata Hikaru not only did not feel depressed, but instead had a smile on her face. My leader is not one of those losers who can't do anything without a plug-in. If there is no plug-in, I will create another one myself. As Hinata spoke, her eyes became sharp. This is her confidence. In the last life, Hinata Hikaru relied on her own whimsical ideas to create her own plug-in. In her next life, she was very familiar with the process. The killing intent fluctuates. Hinata Hikari turned his palm, and chakra emerged from his palm. Then, blue chakra suddenly jumped. This was just pure chakra. But at the age of 8, he can release chakra from his palms, which has surpassed 90% of his peers. This is something that only children of the Hyuga clan can do. Then, Hinata narrowed his eyes and released his murderous intent. Boom! The chakra beating in the palm of his hand was dyed red like the setting sun. This is the cheat Hinata created for himself. Integrate killing intent into chakra and mix it into a special chakra called killing intention wave. So what if there are no plug-ins? So what if there is no old man to give me the secrets? Wouldn't it be enough to create one yourself? Quack. In my last life, my leader died inexplicably. In this life, I decided not to make the same mistake again. Hinata Hikaru casually dispersed the chakra in his palm, and his eyes gradually became sharper. In the end, even the quackery laughed out loud, it was so enjoyable. And this scene happened to be seen by a group of people walking from the school corridor. Hokage-sama, she is Hinata Hikari and was refused admission to the ninja school because of mental problems. With the support of many teachers from the ninja school, the figure wearing the god's robe slowly walked past I. Hinata turned his head curiously and saw the figure clearly. It's the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Those exquisite and clear eyes blinked. There seems to be something wrong with the script. In her last life, she did not have the scene in her mind. Hinata Hikaru took another closer look and found that the place he was in was not the mansion of the Hyuga clan, but ninja school. Hikaru Hinata has a very serious mental illness. We have no choice but to give up recruiting her. A ninja school teacher emphasized this. At this time, Hinata Hikaru noticed that a freshman admissions banner was hanging above the gate of the ninja school. In other words, today is the day to recruit another class of ninja students. Oh! Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third Hokage of the time when Shinobu was fighting, frowned. How serious is it? She thought she was a ninja dog from the Inyazuka clan. I also named myself Hinata Wonke. Learn the barking of a ninja dog. Everyone spoke to each other and introduced the Sandaime Hokage. It seems that I is really seriously ill. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and believed it. Then, everyone cast pity on Hinata standing in front of the school gate. After hearing these words, Hinata Hikaru was confused at first, and then said loudly, "You are the ninja dogs. Your whole family is ninja dogs. This leader is the majestic Tongtian cult master." Hinata Hikaru suddenly said something that made everyone stunned. Then they shook their heads. She's just a little mentally ill, not worth arguing with. But some people don't think so. The Hyuga clan's little psycho, right? Do you know who you are talking to? Among the crowd, there was a young man who looked to be about the same age as Hikaru Hinata. From the emblem on his sleeve, we could tell that he was of the bloodline of the Senju clan. "Which onion are you?" Hearing the other party's words, Hinata Hikari's cute little face suddenly turned cold. She didn't know the scumbag. "I am Senju Fengxiang," the young man from the Thousand Hands clan said loudly. Now that the second ninja war has not yet begun, the Senju clan is the strongest clan in Konoha. Hinata nodded her little head and looked him over. "The name is okay, but I'm too tall to deserve such a cool name." Laugh. Immediately, a teacher from the ninja school laughed out loud. This little mental illness of the Hyuga family is really funny. However, for Senju Hasho, Hinata's words were insulting to him. In front of Lord Hokage, Senju Fengxiang felt extremely humiliated when he was unable to step down, and the anger in his heart suddenly burst out. "Since the Hyuga clan has no time to take care of you, I will teach you how to be a good person today." Under the gaze of everyone, Senju Fengxiang suddenly rushed towards Hinata Hikari. "Call out!" His body turned into a gust of wind, incredibly fast. Everyone expressed their admiration. As expected of a member of the Thousand Hands clan, even a child is so outstanding. The third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, frowned, as if he was thinking about whether to stop Senju Hasho. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 2. Hinata Hikaru stood there, motionless, looking as if he was frightened. Seeing that they were about to be hit by Senju Fengxiang, everyone who wanted to take action gave up the idea. Because in front of Lord Hokage, Senju Fengxiang would not be too harsh, at most he would just teach Hinata Hikari a lesson. With such a mood, everyone silently watched the development of the situation, seemingly determined that Hinata Hikari would be beaten. However, the next moment, Hinata's figure suddenly moved. Boom! The two men missed each other, and Senju Fengxiang fell to the ground for no apparent reason. Zaza. Hinata Hikari waved her little hand, and her wide white sleeves looked ethereal. Coupled with his cute little face with a serious look, he actually has a faint sense of power. Everyone onlookers were shocked, and even more, there was a glint in Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes. Among the ninja teachers present, the ones with the lowest strength were all Chuyunin, so they could see the scene that just happened very clearly. Although Hinata moved last, her movements were even faster than Senju Fengxiang's. Being the last to arrive, she casually pushed Senju Fengxiang's back, and the latter immediately fell to the ground. Senju Fengxiang was stunned. Just now he felt a flash in front of his eyes, a strong wind coming from his back, and he was knocked down. In other words, This little psycho's physical skills level is even higher than his. How can this be? The next moment, an extreme feeling of shame surged up from my heart. In front of the Hokage-sama, Hinata Hikaru, who was not admitted to the ninja school, actually made him, a would-be top student, lose face. Hateful. Being stared at by everyone, especially the Hokage, Senju Fengxiang was so embarrassed and angry that he almost fainted. I saw him getting up from the ground, gritting his teeth, and actually took out a bunch of shurikens from his ninja bag. The next moment, these shurikens were thrown out by Senju Fengxiang, and the target was Hikaru Hinata. Call out. In an instant, these shurikens turned into 6 after-images and flew away through the air. Normally, I say, children so young are not allowed to attack each other with real weapons. And Senju Fengxiang was so angry that he actually wanted to defeat Hinata Hikaru directly with a practical ninja tool. If he were hit this time, not to mention being seriously injured, he would at least lose the ability to move. And there were too many shurikens, so it was very difficult to dodge them. Oops. Senju Fengxiang's attack was too harsh. She must be saved immediately. When the onlookers from the ninja school saw this scene, they all wanted to step forward. The shuriken, which is difficult for the ninja students to avoid, seems to be in slow motion in their eyes. If they take action at this time, they can save Hinata Hikaru immediately. However, the Sandaime Hokage stretched out his hand to signal everyone not to act rashly. Because Sarutobi Hiruzen saw extreme confidence in Hinata Hikaru's crystal clear white eyes. That's right, it's not fear, but a look full of confidence. This look in her eyes told her that she was able to resist the attacks of 6 shurikens. Fluctuation of killing intent. Hinata Hikaru raised his right arm, accumulating strength, and his chakra suddenly stirred up, blowing his robe up. Drink. Just when everyone's hearts were in their throats, Hinata Guang suddenly let out a clear voice. Amid everyone's horrified gazes, Hinata waved his hand suddenly and struck a palm in the air in front of him. Red light shines. The scarlet color like smoke bloomed on Hinata Hikaru's palm, which was the special chakra called the fluctuation of murderous intent. This palm is just an ordinary palm, a simple soft fist releasing chakra. In terms of lethality, it can barely knock down a shuriken. But when Ri Guang added murderous wave to this palm, it was equivalent to enchanting in physical skills. He saw Hinata's little hand slapping the air hard. Boom. There was a muffled sound, and the originally empty air suddenly trembled, and ripples that spread like the surface of the water instantly appeared where the sunlight hit it. The next moment, 6 shurikens collided with the red wave of killing intent. Silent. These 6 shurikens did not make any movement, as if they were drowned in red chakra like a mud cow entering the sea. The speed of rotation goes from extremely fast to extremely slow, giving people an unreal feeling. In the end, these 6 shurikens were completely frozen in the wave of killing intent. Quack. Break it into pieces for me, the leader. After a strange laugh, Hinata suddenly shouted. Click. The 6 stagnant shurikens began to appear cracked, as if some terrible animal was biting them. The next moment, all the shurikens exploded and turned into useless metal fragments. This scene shocked everyone. Not only these ninja school teachers, but even the 3rd-generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, known as the ninjutsu professor, suddenly opened his eyes. As we all know, the Hyuga clan is good at soft fist. But what Hinata Hikaru just used was a Goken that could crush even shurikens. Not only that. No one had ever seen or heard of the sudden burst of scarlet chakra fluctuations. That is. After being extremely surprised, everyone looked at the 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Because, among the people here, he is the only one who is most qualified to answer this question. Quack. What's your next sentence? Hinata laughed strangely, stretched out his little hand, and pointed at Senju Fengxiang who was stunned on the spot. Be Bakana. Be bacona. Huh. After a brief moment of sluggishness, Kinja Fengxiang looked at the scene in disbelief. He had never heard of anyone being able to smash a shuriken with one palm. What's even scarier is that this little psycho even knows his next line. Could she foresee the future? Now that you've already taken action, it's my leader's turn. Hinata Hikaru had a weird smile on her face. It was not her style not to fight back when hit or scolded. Ah, ah ah ah. Amidst Kinja Fengxiang's screams, Hinata Hikaru's small fists quickly magnified in front of his eyes, and then... boom! Kinja Fengxiang was hit on the cheek and flew backwards in a spiral shape. The moment he was hit, he directly turned into an emoticon. Suddenly, the audience was silent. Everyone's heads were buzzing as they watched this incredible scene. Soon, they realized a problem. Hinata Hikaru, who was considered unable to be admitted, casually killed Senju Fengxiang, who was accepted on merit. Doesn't this show that they have no ability to recognize people and are just a bunch of idiots? Fortunately, the Sandaime Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen had no intention of holding them accountable. The ninja quickly walked towards Hinata Hikari and looked at her kindly. The next moment, he said something that surprised everyone but thought it was reasonable. Little guy, would you like to go to ninja school? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 3. At this moment, no one dared to object anymore. The ninja teachers just looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hinata Hikaru silently, and then went over to help Senju Fengxiang up. The second generation Hokage Senju Tobirama has been dead for more than 20 years. Although the Senju clan is slowly declining, it is not comparable to a small clan like the Hyuga clan. The only one who can stand shoulder to shoulder with the Senju clan is the Uchiha clan. As a branch of the Hyuga clan, Hikaru Hyuga. That's right, not only the clan family, but also the branch family actually defeated their peers from the Senju clan. Especially the red chakra that just showed is even more incredible. It can't help but remind people of secret techniques or blood inheritance limits. You know, no one in the Hyuga clan has ever shown this ability. All the ninja teachers looked at Hinata Hikari with a hint of surprise. Hinata Hikaru nodded naturally, as if she should enter the ninja school. Gaga, I want to go to the ninja school. After receiving a satisfactory answer, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled, turned around, and gave a few instructions, and Hinata Hikaru's admission matters were decided. He saw certain possibilities in Hinata Hikari. Konoha Hidden Village is so big, there are more than 6,000 active ninjas alone, many of whom may have all kinds of weird ninjutsu abilities and bloodstains. Hyuga is one of them. Although even Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't figure out what Hinata Hikari's murderous intention wave was about, it didn't matter. The important thing is to give Hinata a chance to grow and let her have access to the same educational resources as her peers. After that, Sarutobi Hiruzen was ready to leave, and the recruitment of candidates for this year was coming to an end. At this time, it was already dusk, and the orange color of the setting sun reflected on everyone, coating them with a layer of light. Hinata Hikaru was also ready to leave, but she suddenly thought of something. So, Hinata Hikari walked up to Senju Hasho, who was being supported by the ninja teacher. This time, Kinja Fengxiang was frightened. He immediately put on a wary look, mixed with a mixture of shame, humiliation, and dejection. After all, he never dreamed that as a member of the Thousand Hands clan, he would lose to a little psycho. The next moment, Hinata Hikaru opened his stance, and it was the soft fist starting style of the Hyuga clan. Before the ninja teachers could ask questions, Hinata Hikaru spoke. Please remember this, Master. Our Hyuga clan is the largest clan in Konoha. After nervously shouting the slogan, Hinata scratched her little head and turned around and walked away. She clearly remembered that other Hyuga clan members did this. When meeting everyone, he would shout, "My Hyuga clan is the most powerful clan in Konoha, my Hyuga clan is the best in the world of Taijutsu ninja." Only in this way can one be considered a standard Hyuga clan member. Looking at Hinata Hikari's nervous back, Senju Fengxiang almost wanted to vomit blood. I actually lost to such a little psycho. This scene made Sarutobi Hiruzen and the ninja school teachers dumbfounded. What a funny little guy. With kind eyes, Sarutobi Hiruzen left with a smile. And on the trunk of a big tree that no one noticed, a golden figure stood supporting the tree. With blonde hair, blue eyes, and a handsome face, he was the fourth generation Hokage, Namikaze Shuito, who would be called the Golden Flash in later generations. At this time, Minato Namikaze was just a handsome young man. Being the same age as Hikaru Hinata, he looked at the departing white figure, his blue eyes like the sky flashing with light. His handsome face was full of gentleness. The next moment, Namikaze Minato, with the corner of his mouth slightly raised, left here with a blink technique. Hinata Hikaru was shopping, or to be precise, he was on his way back to the Hyuga clan's mansion. She looked curiously at the familiar yet unfamiliar Konoha. Everything is just as in memory. Its frequent pedestrians, bustling streets, and shops do not feel like a stormy place at all. 2 years to go. Hinata Hikaru knew that in 2 years' time, the Second Ninja War would begin. In the past 2 years, she had to practice hard in order to survive the war that swept the entire ninja world. In this world, ninjas are divided according to levels. Ninja students, Genin, Shuyunin, Special Jounin, Jounin, Shadow, and gods who transcend shadow. The intensity of each level can vary wildly. For example, among Jounin, there are differences between ordinary Jounin and elite Jounin. Elite Jounin are like Tsunade, Jiaya, and Orochimaru who are now in their 20s. They have no problem defeating 10 ordinary Jounin by themselves. Through the competition with Senju Hasho just now, Hinata Hikaru can confirm that his current ultimate strength can barely reach the level of Genin. The reason why I say reluctantly is because I received the bonus of killing intent fluctuation. This self-created blood stain gave Hinata Hikari the possibility to kill monsters beyond the level. But if you don't rely on the fluctuation of murderous intent, you can only be regarded as the level of ninja school student. Hinata Hikari, who had made great achievements in cultivation in his previous life, was naturally familiar with the steps of cultivation. She began to make various training plans for herself in her mind. The reason why this leader fell into a natural disaster in his previous life was that, in addition to natural disasters and changes, the unstable foundation was also the main problem. Hinata Hikaru began to summarize. In my previous life, I was dedicated to seeking a breakthrough to the realm of shadow, but I failed to lay a solid foundation. Although this leader has lost all his cultivation, it is not necessarily a bad thing. When tall buildings rise from the ground, the foundation is the most important. It seems that the ninja school students are not even the first realm of ninja, but in order to achieve the supreme glory, Hinata Hikaru decided to practice each realm to perfection step by step. The various ninjutsu and taijutsu collected by this leader in my previous life are vast. There is no problem in cultivating the path, so let's start with the simplest E level. Regardless of taijutsu, illusion, or ninjutsu, the lowest level is E level. Going up are E level, 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 B level, A level, S level. Thinking like this, Hinata Hikaru walked all the way back to the mansion of the Hyuga clan. This mansion is located on the edge of Konoha, bordering Konoha's tall walls. The space inside the large square house is very large, including not only a house for living, but also an open space for practice and a monastery. Quack. This leader is back again. Hinata Hikaru, who was standing at the door, shouted, but the Hyuga clan members inside just glanced at her with contempt, not surprised. The next moment, it's time to do whatever you want. The shame of the Hyuga clan, this title is still firmly attached to Hinata Hikari's head. What they don't know is that in the near future, Hinata Hikaru will set off a ninja legend that sweeps the entire ninja world. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 4. Hinata walked straight back to his own residence, a building with a small courtyard. In the yard, everything was as before. As for the wooden corridor, the floor looked like it was being cleaned. After stepping into the corridor, Hinata opened the door and entered the clean room. She smiled slightly. Naturally, the whole room cannot be cleaned by Hinata Hikari, who is concentrating on cultivation. A tribe member named Hinata Chiu has been taking care of her. After entering, Hinata first looked at the familiar furnishings, and then nodded. I, the leader, will refine the chakra first. Hinata sat cross-legged and began to concentrate. Chakra equals physical energy, spiritual energy. In this world, everyone has chakra in their body. The only difference between ordinary people and ninjas is the difference in the cultivation and application of chakra. To become a ninja, you must master chakra refining techniques. The benefits of refining chakra, in addition to increasing proficiency, also have the effect of activating the body. The reason why ninjas can jump several meters high is because they use chakra to activate their bodies and can perform various incredible actions. For example, by releasing chakra, you can fly over eaves and walls, hang upside down on the wall, and be flush with the ground. You can even walk and run on water. It looks very much like the various martial arts masters in the martial arts novels that Hinata Hikari knows. About an hour later, it got a little dark. Feeling the abundant chakra in her body and feeling a little tired, Hinata slowly stood up from the floor and began to practice E-level moves. The simplest move among level E is undoubtedly the physical technique. Among them, the secret taijutsu secrets of Konoha style invented by the great second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama are the simplest. It is said to be simple, but the action is simple, but it is not simple. I saw that Hinata clasped his hands together and put his fingers together in front of him, which looked like he was forming a seal. Then, straighten the index fingers and middle high of both hands. Millennium killing. Hinata Hikaru, who had an extremely serious face, suddenly moved forward to attack. Call out. Because the shot was too fast, it actually made a sound like a ninja weapon breaking through the air. I saw an afterimage passing by, and Hinata's arms were already stretched forward. This move can cause a very serious blow to the Uchiha and other ethnic groups with strong self-esteem and face consciousness, and may even directly lead to the social death of the other party. This is also the reason why this move, which is only rated E, is called the secret of Konohagakure Taijutsu by the second Hokage Senju Tobirama. As he said, there are no rubbish moves, only the ninjas who don't know how to use them. What about the E-class? If you use it well, it can go against the heavens. Millennium killing. Shouting the names of powerful and exciting moves, Hinata practiced them over and over again. Serious and hard-working. In her last life, she relied on this move to defeat countless Uchihas. In this life, she can still pick it up again. After the sky turned completely dark, light footsteps could be heard in the corridor outside. After taking a long breath, Hinata Hikaru stopped practicing. Feeling the slight soreness in her arms, Hinata couldn't help but shook her head. At this time, my physical fitness was indeed in a very weak state, but I was a little tired after practicing for less than an hour. And not only was there no trace of frustration on Hinata Hikari's cute little face, but her eyes were burning, and her exquisite and clear eyes were full of confidence. The fluctuations of killing intent can strengthen the body. As long as I practice diligently, my physical fitness will continue to improve as if I'm cheating. After figuring this out, Hinata reorganized his demeanor. Then, the door was opened, and the beautiful figure reflected through the door also showed her true appearance. Hinata Akira is a mate of the Hyuga clan with short hair and a pretty face. The 15-year-old Hinata Akira and Hinata Hikaru both belong to the Bran family. The shining forehead protector on her forehead represents her other identity, a Konoha Chuyunin. Xiaoguang, dinner is ready. Hinata Chu said softly, motioning Hinata Hikari to go to dinner with her. Well, Akio, thank you. Hinata nodded and stared at this familiar face. Then went out first. Hinata Chu behind him looked a little confused, but still followed I. Among the different families, the number of people who have never ridiculed Hinata Hikari because of her mental problems can be counted on one hand. And Hinata Chu is one of them. Not only that, Hinata also took care of her diet and daily life, so that Hinata could concentrate on her cultivation. Hinata Hikaru hid this feeling in her heart and decided to help Hinata Chu one day. Help this kind and gentle girl realize her dream. Free. As Hinata walked, he felt the mark on his forehead, the mark of the caged bird. This is the restraint of the clan family using I to control the branch family and decide the life and death of the branch family. When activated, it can range from splitting brain pain to severe burns to nerves and eyes, or even damage to the brain and cause death. 10,000 times scarier than the golden hoop on a certain monkey's head. To put it nicely, it's like dividing the family, but if not, it's like being a slave. In this way, there is no way at all. But so what? Hinata looked up at the sky. At this time, the sky was full of stars, and infinite pride arose in her heart. The caged bird seal is just an A-level ninjutsu. She was able to erase this mark bit by bit in her previous life, and she can still do it in this life. In the original work, Namikaze Minato left the mark of the Flying Thunder God technique on Uchiha Obito, but it was easily erased by Uchiha Obito, who became the 6 paths level. Even the S-level Flying Thunder God's mark can be cracked, not to mention the A-level Caged Bird's mark. Xiaoguang, what are you looking at? Hinata Chu blinked his eyes and involuntarily followed Hinata's gaze to the sky. My leader is watching the stars at night, Hinata said loudly with his little hands behind his back. Starry sky. Hinata Chu thought for a while, feeling a little puzzled. Why look at the stars? Although Hinata Hikaru often makes some puzzling actions, Hinata Chu, who is very patient, still asks questions very gently. She took care of Hikari as her own sister, and did not make fun of her at all because Hikaru's spirit was so different from ordinary people. I saw. Xiaoguang stretched out his hand and pointed directly at the sky, and his crystal clear eyes lit up like starlight. Because the Milky Way hangs in the sky and the stars are brilliant, which makes people look forward to it and open their minds. Those who achieve great things must be open-minded, otherwise they will just be a bunch of clowns. Hinata Chu looked at the sky and then at Hinata Hikari, only to feel that today's Hinata Hikari was very different from before. What happened to this child? Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 5. When things come to a head, you can still be so good at pretending. Uchiha Futaba was furious. The chakra in her body began to flow faster, filling and activating her body. The whole person is like the wind, rushing towards the sun. All of this was captured by Hinata's white eyes. The Uchiha clan, because of a certain weasel, is often considered to be a clan with little chakra. But in fact, this is not the case. If you look at top masters such as Uchiha Madara, you will know that the chakra of the Uchiha clan is very huge. In Hinata's eyes, Uchiha Futaba's chakra amount far exceeds that of a primary school student. Even more than the average genin. It is precisely because of this that it can sustain the consumption of the sea-level fire release and fireball technique. The chakra on her body was swaying wantonly, and her whole body turned into an afterimage, arriving in front of Hinata Hikaru almost in the blink of an eye. Using chakra to enhance physical skills is the prerequisite for becoming a standard ninja. There is no doubt that Uchiha Futaba is doing very well, far beyond the standards of his peers. But Uchiha Futaba neither used the Uchiha clan's ninja tools to throw, nor did he use the fire release go fireball jutsu. It can be seen that he looks down on Hinata Hikari very much. In her opinion, one punch is enough to deal with this little lunatic. Be careful. Among the onlookers, Kinja Fengxiang couldn't help shouting, and at the same time, he stretched out his right hand in a posture of Urkang. Seeing Uchiha Futaba attacking so fiercely, he couldn't help but become very worried. Haha, you should be careful. This is the strength of the Uchiha clan. That little psycho is no match for Uchiha. A student glanced at Kinja Fengxiang, and then spoke to him. Very few people can catch such a punch. What everyone didn't expect was that Uchiha Futaba would be so ruthless. How much hatred could he bring? Hinata's name is unknown to everyone. The difference lies in the familiarity and unfamiliarity issues. Even students from other classes have heard about Hinata Hikari, rumors about something wrong with her head. In full view of the public, the Uchiha clan actually bullied a mentally ill person. This was too miserable. But there was no way, who let that little mental illness offend the noble Uchiha. Many students showed sympathy. Some people looked on with cold eyes. No. A strange expression appeared on Kinja Fengxiang's face. I mean, it's Uchiha Futaba who should be careful. As soon as Kinja Fengxiang finished speaking, things took a strange turn. Boom. A dull sound sounded. The onlookers imagined Hinata being beaten away, but it didn't happen. More exaggerated. Hinata stood there without taking a step back. Her outstretched hand and straight punch with her right hand were fierce and powerful. One punch. He faced Uchiha Futaba's fist. This fist is like a mountain, insurmountable. The one who was repelled was Uchiha Futaba. This. Everyone's pupils shrank suddenly and they were frozen at the scene. In an instant, all the noisy cheers and discussions disappeared. Uchiha Futaba took a few steps back, only feeling numbness in his fists, and his whole hand was even trembling. Her attack was actually blocked. How can this be? Uchiha Futaba looked at Hinata Hikari. Including other people's eyes, there were countless looks of astonishment, confusion, surprise, and disbelief. The Hyuga clan has never heard of anyone being good at Goken. Faced with the enemy's rapid attacks, the Hyuga clan will always avoid their sharp edges and take the opportunity to attack, using attack speed and soft fists to defeat the enemy. To put it bluntly, Rukwin is Kyojin. The most shocked person was Uchiha Futaba. She only felt as if her fist had hit a stone. In the face of this tenacious and solid force, her attacks were completely useless. That is. Gaga, this leader has given you many opportunities, Uchiha Futaba. Hinata looked at Uchiha Futaba without blinking, with a signature nervous smile on her face. She opened her stance, with her right fist in front and her left fist behind, full of heroic spirit. At the same time, a tyrannical aura suddenly erupted from Hinata Hikari's body and swept across the place. The strength of chakra is not inferior to Uchiha Futaba. Seeing the changes in Hinata Hikari, everyone couldn't help but be a little surprised. An Uchiha who can fight against the Senju clan must be very capable of fighting and very energy-consuming. But the problem is that the Hyuga clan has never been known for its chakra. But today, have they seen a ghost? This Hyuga Hikaru, who is called the shame of the Hyuga clan and a little psycho, is actually so powerful. Countless students around him heard from various rumors about laughing at Hinata Hikari. I wonder how many people in the great Konoha regard Hinata Hikari's jokes as entertainment after dinner. And just like this, she is now slapping everyone in the face. Oh, I told you, be careful. Kinja Fengxiang shook his head and sighed. As Hinata Hikaru's first defeated general, Senju Hasho had experienced Hinata Hikari's physical skills. Miracles can be achieved with great force, which is used to describe the sun. Just Senju Hasho didn't expect that Hinata Hikaru wouldn't even need to use Killing Intention Wave to deal with Uchiha Futaba. Is Uchiha Futaba so weak? Soon, Kinjo Fengxiang came to a shocking conclusion. It's not that Uchiha Futaba is too weak, but that Hinata Hikaru has become stronger again. It's not too late to stop now. Hinata Hikaru waved his sleeves and put his little hands behind his back, pretending to be a master. Hinata's words echoed in his ears, and Uchiha Futaba felt a roar in his mind. She was very surprised why this little psycho's strength was different from what she thought. Xiangxiao's eyes were burning. The shame of the Hyuga clan? Waste. Crane tail? He couldn't help but think of the past, where Hikari had endured all kinds of ridicule, but was as light as a feather. After receiving so much criticism, now it is a blockbuster. Is Hinata Hikaru an ordinary girl? The expression of Namikaze Minato beside him was also different from the others. Happy, calm, that's how it should be. Hikaru Hinata-san is, after all, the star that shines most brightly at that moment. Everyone's expressions at the scene were wonderful. Uchiha Futaba, give this leader some face and stop now, otherwise you won't be able to show your face in a while. Hinata Hikaru tried to activate the face fruit. Oh no, it was the limit of face blood inheritance. I don't know if there are any, but I should try it. Maybe, the mouth escape will be successful? Hinata Hikaru is still very beautiful, and she only thinks about the highest secret skill, mouth escape. You do dream. Uchiha Futaba squeezed out the sentence through his teeth almost word for word. But Hinata Hikaru was still minding his own business and said, not to mention you didn't bring enough money today. Thanks to the book friend Taro Pudding knocked good times for the 10,000 reward. Thanks to the book friend Kanglin Echo for the 4,000 reward. Thanks to book friend the world's most lovely Teresa for the 1,000 reward. Thanks to the book friend Justice is always late and never comes for the 500 reward. Thanks to book friend Dong for the 200 reward. Thanks to book friends waiting for the fireworks to fall, the Invincible King and Brother Bai Fei for 100 rewards. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 6. What's more, you didn't bring enough money today. This attitude is calm and full of ridicule. It became the last straw that overwhelmed Uchiha Futaba's sanity. Uchiha Futaba turned over his hands and took out a stack of shurikens from his ninja bag. Drink. With a king's awe full of anger, in an instant, he threw it towards Hinata standing 10 meters away. Boo-hoo. The thrown shuriken turned into a black afterimage, roaring towards Hinata. Namikaze Minato's eyes flashed, and he was the first to clearly see the afterimages with his reflexes that were the best in the ninja world. Total is 8 shurikens. Namikaze Minato was the first among everyone present to see the scene clearly. Because of his reaction speed, in the original work, even the team of Hidden Cloud Village, the 4th Raikage and the 8-tailed Jinhuriki Rabbi, were in admiration. Shuriken is a ninja tool that is available everywhere and can be used by children. It's no surprise that Futaba Uchiha has a lot in his ninja bag. He actually threw 8 shurikens at once. This is to kill that little lunatic. Everyone who saw the scene clearly exclaimed in surprise. Generally speaking, shurikens thrown by ordinary ninjas only have one frequency of sound. The Uchiha clan is a little different. Through unique throwing techniques, different shurikens can fly in different arcs. Therefore, the order and speed are also different, and the sounds produced are naturally different. The moment everyone saw clearly, the 8 shurikens suddenly spread out and attacked Hinata Hikari from 8 positions. In this way, it is equivalent to directly blocking all possible dodge positions of Hinata. It is not difficult to throw 8 shurikens at once, and Hinata Hikaru can even throw a large handful. But it is very difficult to make each one launch precise attacks from different positions. These 8 shurikens hit the head, neck, abdomen, limbs, and side ribs respectively. This throwing technique named Uchiha style can only be learned by the Uchiha clan. Everyone from shadow level experts to children are using it. Many times, it can even turn the tide of the battle. Just like in the original work, Uchiha Itachi used Kunao throwing to break the shared vision of Nagato's Rinnegan under the control of Yakushi Kabuto. This is something that other ninjas cannot do at all. The students all opened their eyes wide and expressed disbelief in their hearts. This is the ninja tool throwing of the Uchiha clan. Looking at the crisis that occurred in the field, many thoughts flashed through my mind. The battle between Hinata Hikaru and Uchiha Futaba was different from ordinary school bullying. At most, they suffered a little physical pain. Everyone had no doubt that if these 8 shurikens hit, the little psychotic member of the Hyuga family would at least be seriously injured, if not dead. Is there going to be bloodshed today? Humph. Seeing this scene, Ri Xiangxiao snorted coldly, showing disdain. Just a shuriken. The next moment, Hinata's reaction left everyone stunned on the spot. Ninja. The moment Futaba Uchiha threw his shuriken, Hinata formed a seal. She wants to use ninjutsu. Is it a substitute technique? The students speculated. At this age and this level of school, the only solution they can think of is the substitution technique. But the question is, has Hinata prepared the substitute wood in advance? To perform the substitution technique, special props need to be prepared in advance. After all, wood doesn't come from nothing. But probably no one would bring a substitute to school with them. Uchiha Futaba was also stunned. Doesn't she know that the substitution technique requires wood to be prepared in advance? I had been observing her for a long time, and this little psychopath didn't even prepare a substitute. Haha. After all, this Hinata Hikari is a mental patient. What's ridiculous is that he actually regards her as a real opponent. Uchiha Futaba sneered, as if he had seen the future where Hinata was poked into a sieve. Moreover, it doesn't matter even if Hinata Hikaru is injured, after all, she personally agreed to her challenge. What's more, the shuriken has no eyes. However, at the next moment, a sudden change occurred. Everyone's expressions changed from dazed to dull. Their doubts were also answered. In the field, facing the 8 shurikens flying towards him, Hinata Hikari chuckled strangely, and his sleeves began to flutter without the wind. This was the result of the flow of chakra. Golden binding technique. Boom. Hinata's robe suddenly trembled, and invisible chakra fluctuations surged towards him. This aura rapidly expanded and grew stronger as Ri Xiangxiao could sense it. In the end, the shuriken was flying at high speed like the wind. Click. The 8 shurikens suddenly stagnated and reversed from extremely fast to extremely slow. This contrast in speed actually made people feel unreal. But no matter what, those 8 shurikens could no longer move forward, as if they were fixed in the air by an invisible force. This. What kind of ninjutsu is that? The onlookers were stunned on the spot, with incredible looks and expressions in their eyes and faces. Even the few top students in the crowd had their eyes blank. It's actually the art of golden binding? Ordinary students can't recognize it, but some top students can. Family, bloodline, and inheritance determine the difference in vision. Golden binding jutsu, D-level, genin level ninjutsu. In other words, this little psycho of the Hyuga clan, as a ninja school student, can actually use the golden binding technique that can only be used at the genin level. Mixed with the noisy doubts and discussions of the ordinary students was the silence and uncertainty of the top students. Hee. Namikaze Minato chuckled. Firm and gentle. That day, after sparring with Hikaru Hinata, he knew that Hikaru Hinata was fine. Uchiha Futaba's desire to bully Hinata Hikaru was simply overthinking. And that day, Hinata Xiao, who watched the battle between Namikaze Minato and Hinata Hikaru, looked even more natural. Not only that, he also said loudly to Uchiha Futaba, "Is this the Uchiha clan's ninja throwing tool? When I saw it today, it was indeed extraordinary. I admire it." Hinata Xiao's words exploded in Uchiha Futaba's ears like detonating talismans. Irony, stark irony. Uchiha Futaba's cheeks instantly turned red and trembled. It was the ultimate anger, displayed on his distorted face. Futaba Uchiha had no idea that Hikaru Hinata had mastered the D-level golden binding technique. This little mental illness is really hidden. Uchiha Futaba stared at Hinata without blinking. Until Hinata Hikaru let go of his sealed hands, letting the shurikens flutter onto the ground, Hinata Hikaru was naturally unscathed. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 7. In full view of everyone, Hinata suddenly bent down. This kind of action startled Uchiha Futaba. However, in fact, Hinata Hikaru did not want to attack Uchiha Futaba. "I saw." Hinata picked up one of them with her white hands, blew away the dust, and naturally put it back into her ninja bag. Then, the second one. Everyone. A strange atmosphere of silence spread among everyone, and all the originally noisy sounds disappeared. What is this little psycho doing? An above-board robbery. Soon, all 8 shurikens thrown by Uchiha Futaba were put back into her ninja bag. "Well, you can continue." Hinata Hikaru stood up and stretched out his hand. "Uchiha Futaba, please start your performance." Futaba Uchiha was already performing. She was performing a gesture called trembling, which was to give her breath. She had never seen such a brazen person. "Hikaru Hinata." Just then, Uchiha Futaba shouted angrily and moved his body again. She was so angry that she was completely desperate. She just wants to kill Hinata Hikari now. Brush. Uchiha Futaba turned his right hand, and a kunai fell from his sleeve into his hand. The next moment, the Uchiha Futaba above rushed towards Hinata Hikaru, her eyes full of hatred, as if she was not her classmate, but the enemy who had destroyed the Uchiha clan. "Be careful. It's Thousand Hand Feng Xiang again." He stretched out his right hand, making an Erkin pose, and immediately exclaimed. This made everyone wonder again, who is he trying to be careful about this time? Hinata Hikaru was very calm and looked at Uchiha Futaba running towards him quickly. The murderous aura is good. Hinata nodded and agreed. But for Uchiha Futaba, this was another mockery of her. This little psycho was always laughing at her. Uchiha Futaba completely forgot that she was the cause of trouble in the first place. Hinata is extremely sensitive to things like murderous aura. Because her murderous intention wave is composed of murderous intention itself. As a result, Hinata herself is like a murderous aura sensor. Once murderous aura emerges around her, she can easily know it. Although it is not as good as the perfect Nine-Tails Jinchuriki's sense of malice, it is not too different. Uchiha Futaba's movements were very fast, but this was of no use in front of Hinata, who had Byakugan. In terms of insight alone, the Byakugan is even higher than the Sharingan. What the Sharingan cannot see, the Byakugan can see. What the Byakugan can see, the Sharingan may not be able to see. His movements, demeanor, and murderous intent were all exposed to Hinata. In this world, murderous intent truly exists. Just like in the original book, during the Chunin exam, Orochimaru scared Kakashi to piss with one look. Uchiha Futaba's murderous aura was naturally not comparable to that of those famous ninjas. It was very weak and could be sensed by Hinata, which was enough. Facing the oncoming opponent, Hinata Hikari smiled strangely, exerted his strength on his legs, and took the initiative to face him. Hinata Hikaru did not intend to use any weapons, but jumped into the air. Konoha. In the horrified eyes of everyone, Hinata's figure disappeared instantly. Disappeared. There was still an afterimage left in Uchiha Futaba's retina for a moment. At this time, the kunao in her hand has been swung out, and it will take time to retract the move. In the next blink of an eye, Hinata appeared in the air beside Uchiha Futaba. Whirlwind. With the help of force and body inertia, Hinata suddenly kicked Uchiha Futaba on the shoulder. So fast. Not only Uchiha Futaba, but also the eyes of everyone present suddenly widened. Hateful. Futaba Uchiha suddenly pulled his body, and the kunao in his hand was able to return to defense. Brush. The kunao created a bright flash of light in the air. The target was Hinata Hikari's left leg. If this stroke is successful, blood will be spilled on the spot, and it is not impossible to cut into the bone. The two men's offense and defense were dizzying for everyone to watch. But in the blink of an eye, offense and defense exchanged several times. Is this the strength of top students? What surprised them even more was Hinata's performance. It's so fast. However, Uchiha Futaba still reacted. While surprised, they couldn't help but feel a little pity. It seems that this little psychopath is no match for Uchiha Futaba after all. Seeing that Hinata was about to spill blood on the spot, many people even closed their eyes to avoid looking at the bloody scene. Just when everyone thought so, the situation changed again. Hinata Hikaru's kicked left leg suddenly changed its direction, just like the shuriken thrown by Uchiha Futaba, changing its angle. The left leg that was originally going to collide with kunao drew an arc and hit the latter's wrist directly. What? Futaba Uchiha couldn't help but cry out in pain, and the kunao in his hand suddenly dropped. The arm cannot twist the thigh, this is the eternal truth. This kind of control over physical skills made the crowd exclaim again. Those who had closed their eyes suddenly opened their eyes and were shocked by the incredible scene in front of them. They didn't expect that Hinata Hikaru actually held back his hand and did not use all his strength. Also, in terms of strength, the legs are stronger than the arms. You don't need to use all your strength to resist the strength of your hands. Just when everyone thought this round was over, the mutation reappeared. After kicking the kunao out of his opponent's hand, Hinata's body suddenly spun in the air and kicked out his right leg again. Boom. An ultimate muffled sound. Uchiha Futaba flew out upside down. And the sunlight fell to the ground like a whirlwind. Silence, the silence of Chiguakyo. The entire audience seemed to be struck by collective silence. No one speaks. They watched helplessly as Uchiha Futaba rolled several times on the ground in embarrassment. This is what you have always wanted to do to my leader, but unfortunately, my leader is stronger than you. Moreover, I have already said before that I asked you to stop. How about it? Now you can't keep it on your face. Hinata smiled faintly. The ninjas of the Uchiha clan are like this, very cautious. From Uchiha Madara to a bunch of other people, no one has an open mind. They are called ninjas, but they are completely inferior to a bunch of ordinary Uchiha people. In Hinata's opinion, the civilians of the Uchiha clan are much cuter than these ninjas. She mocked Uchiha Futaba without any mercy. People will not offend our leader, and our leader will not offend others. This is the philosophy of Hyuga. If you offend her, you will have to bear the consequences. Uchiha Futaba is now tasting the bitter pill of asking for humiliation. A pair of eyes moved back and forth between Hinata Hikari and Uchiha Futaba. A miserable Uchiha lying on the ground. High-spirited, indifferent, and ethereal sunlight. The colors of the two people, one black and one white, formed a sharp contrast. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 8. How can that be? After Uchiha Futaba was knocked away, he didn't react for a while. She was actually tricked by this little psycho using a bad Konoha fluid technique. Not even soft boxing? Does this mean that she is laughing at herself, that she is not even qualified to use soft fists. Uchiha Futaba had too many ideas. But this time, she guessed correctly. As the saying goes, a fool has 1,000 worries, and he has something to gain. After slandering Hinata Hikari so many times, this time, Hinata Hikaru really didn't look down on Uchiha Futaba. Originally, there was no hatred between her and Uchiha Futaba, but the other party kept giving her small shoes and was dissatisfied with her, as if he was an enemy of the country and the family and wanted to do everything possible to humiliate her. But in the end, Uchiha Futaba tasted the bitter fruit he had sown. By the way, at this time, isn't it time for the Holy Mother to pop up and give a speech? Sure enough, after Hinata knocked down Uchiha Futaba, someone jumped out. Hikaru Hinata, we are all classmates in the same class, how could you be so harsh? Oh grass, here it comes. Hinata rolled her eyes and looked at the place where the sound came from. This action of hers was so cute and playful that Minato Namikaze couldn't help but laugh a few times. Okay. Ri Xiangxiao and others all turned around and saw a girl walking out of the crowd. Her face looked kind and honest, but it was not the kind of honest person, but an indescribable sense of a holy mother. In terms of appearance, she can be considered pretty and cute, but she has short, maroon-colored hair that makes her look a bit heroic. The family crest embroidered on her clothes proves her ethnic group, the Senju of the forest. Senju Momika is Senju Momika from class 1. Hikaru Hinata is in class 2, and Momo Senju is in class 1. They are next door to each other and belong to the class under the jurisdiction of Michiko Sensei. Hey! There's a good show to watch now. Some students gloated. They are all members of the Senju Muka Victims Association. When a normal person encounters the 1,000-armed peach blossom, his skin will peel off even if he doesn't die. This is not to say that Senjutahua is bad, but that he is so good that he is as good as the Holy Mother. Such a Madonna character looks compassionate all day long. That alone is nothing, the most important thing is that she likes to take care of things everywhere. He gives speeches to everyone he meets, which means he can use his words to talk others to death. Many people couldn't stand it, and there were many who were almost driven crazy by her. Then the problem is coming. What kind of sparks will come out of the collision between the Holy Mother Senju Muka and the little psychotic Hikari? Everyone watched Senju Muka walking towards Hinata Hikari with great anticipation. You must be Hinata Hikaru. I've heard others tell you about you. Senju Momo walked near Hinata Hikari, and from a long distance away, she could smell the smell of wood. Sure enough, it was the Senju of the forest. Hinata didn't speak. Look at how you beat Uchiha Futaba-san. Senju Momika walked up to the confused Uchiha Futaba, helped her up, and patted her a few times with a look of compassion. We are all classmates in the same class, and yet we are so aggressive. Don't you know how narrow-minded the Uchiha clan is? The latter dubbing was added by Hikaru Hinata. Hinata Hikari still didn't speak, just looked at Senju Momo very calmly. This move did not stop Senju Momo from continuing to use mouth escape. On the contrary, she talked even more happily. What if you hurt Uchiha Futaba-san? It might very well trigger a chain of hatred. It's now linked. Hinata looked around. Several members of the Uchiha clan watched the scene secretly. Hinata Hikaru knew that after returning home after a while, the unusually united Uchiha would definitely report themselves to their daddy. Talk about how you humiliated Uchiha Futaba. When the time comes, everyone will condemn it. Brothers and sisters, 7 aunts and 8 aunts, take turns. Senju Momika continued talking for a while, until even Uchiha Futaba thought, why was this person so annoying? Finally, Senju Muka waved and concluded with one sentence. Hikaru Hinata-san, conflicts between classmates are nothing to worry about, just be generous. Hey, okay, Hinata rolled her eyes. Then Senju Momo came over and announced her name. Muka, Senjutaka, this is my name. Hinata Hikaru cupped his hands and smiled. "God, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard about the famous name of the Senju clan for a long time, Madara, Uchiha Madara, this is the name of this leader." Senju Momo was stunned. "Uchiha Madara? Isn't it called Hinata Hikari? Why, it can't be done. After Hinata finished speaking, he turned around and left. Obviously, she didn't intend to argue with Senju Momo. "Why don't you contradict her?" Ri Xiangxiao followed behind, a little confused. "That Senju Dahua is obviously full of nonsense." Ri Xiangguang turned his head sideways, looked at Ri Xiangxiao, and said loudly, "Those who don't understand the situation and just advise you to be generous are the kind of people who advise you to stay away from her because when lightning strikes her, it will hurt you. Gwa! I'll stab you. There is still blood on your side." She ran over and said, Hey, this is nothing to worry about. You have to be generous. How to deal with such a person? Stay away from her, of course. The Holy Mother cannot be offended." Hinata Hikaru's words spread throughout the crowd. After they came to their senses, the group of people dispersed in a hurry and moved away from Senju Dahua, as if they had encountered some savage beast. Without him, what Hinata Hikaru said makes so much sense. The appearance of Senju Momoko made Hinata lose interest in fighting Uchiha Futaba. She walked to the place where the two of them were standing, picked up the money Uchiha Futaba dropped, blew the ashes, and stuffed it into the ninja bag. After that, Hinata Hikaru was going to treat herself to Ichiraku ramen. A battle ended like this. Although it may have ended because of the Senju Muka who appeared halfway, there is no doubt that Hinata Hikaru defeated Uchiha Futaba and won her 2 Ryo. It swept through Konoha like the wind and became people's favorite after dinner talk. The story spread quickly, and soon it reached the ears of some big shots. The first to learn about this matter was the Hyuga clan. It wasn't Hinata Xiao who spread the news, but there were other children of the Hinata clan among the onlookers at that time. They told their clan members one after another about this matter, and soon the entire Hyuga clan compound knew about it. This is a big deal. The big thing doesn't refer to Hinata Hikaru's own strength, but she broke the Hyuga clan's principle of dealing with others in a timid manner. For thousands of years, the reason why the Hyuga clan has survived to this day is because of their cowardice. To put it nicely, it means that harmony is the most important thing, but to put it badly, it means that you will be timid when encountering difficulties. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 9. That's the way it is. In the room, the elder of the Hyuga clan, Hyugaraya Hito, finished listening to Hinata Xiao's story. As soon as he learned that what happened, he recruited his own disciples. Hinata nodded. The first consideration was Hinata's safety and whether he was injured in the battle. After all, they are members of the same clan, and their personal safety comes first. When he heard that Hikaru Hinata had defeated Futaba Uchiha and that he was spotless, Hikari couldn't help but be moved. That child not only has talent, her ability to overwhelm Uchiha is also inseparable from her hard work. Hinata Yoshiaki is not a fool. He knows better than anyone what happens in the compound of the Hyuga clan, including Hyuga Hikaru's unremitting training day after day. Having only talent but no hard work is called hurting Zhonyang. Master, why did you say that Hinata slightly pressed Uchiha Futaba? Ri Xiangxiao was puzzled. Hinata Guangming clearly won. Although there are reasons for Uchiha Futaba to underestimate the enemy, a loss is a loss. There is no need to find a reason for the ninja's defeat. Hinata Yoshitatsu shook his head slightly. Has that Uchiha Futaba ever used the Go Fireball Jutsu? Obviously, no. In other words, Uchiha Futaba did not try his best. All this is because of the intrusion of the Holy Mother Thousand-Armed Peach Blossom. But, will Uchiha Futaba really use sea-level fire escape against Hinata? When Ri Xiangxiao thought about it, she suddenly felt that it was really possible. If Futaba Uchiha uses the fire escape and fireball technique, what will happen to that child Hikaru Hinata? Dodge, or use a substitute? This is the standard answer. But Hinata Xiao would not answer like that. Because he had witnessed with his own eyes that Hinata Hikaru used two ninjutsu, water release and fire release. If Uchiha Futaba used the Go Fireball Jutsu, Hinata Hikaru would definitely counter-attack with the same level of ninjutsu. However, Ri Xiangxiao did not answer like this. Because, he thought of an issue that had been ignored before. That is, Hinata Hikari's fire escape, water escape, and thunder escape, who taught her? Once you go deep, many things can be exploited. The sun turned towards the night, and I was speechless for a while. Deng deng. At this time, someone knocked on the door. Hinata Ryaharu stood up, opened the door, and left with the tribesmen who came. The leader of the Hyuga clan, Hinata Hiten, summons the upper echelons of the Hyuga clan to discuss matters. Ri Xiangxiao was the only one left in the room. The flickering candlelight swayed, reflecting his face. Ri Xiangxiao fell into deep thought. Hinata Ryujin walked along the corridor and saw a lot of Hyuga clan members along the way. The Hyuga clan mansion seemed to be particularly lively tonight. Everyone was talking about something, the fight between Hinata Hikari and Uchiha Futaba. There are those who are worried and there are those who are doubtful, but most of them are gloating over misfortune. Hyuga Hikaru is known as the shame of the Hyuga clan, so it certainly didn't appear out of thin air. But it was made up by these standing Hyuga clan members. They had long been unhappy with Hinata Hikaru. From a young age, the elders of the Hyuga clan taught them not to cause trouble. You must be good at tolerating things you encounter outside. Because a ninja is someone who can endure. Don't cause trouble to others, because if something happens, it will easily involve the entire clan. After several rounds of chicken soup for the soul, people who were originally intolerable became tolerant. Hinata Hikaru's shocking behavior is tantamount to breaking the rules of the Hyuga clan. As the saying goes, there is no circle without rules. That little lunatic might have been reprimanded at least, but might have knelt down to apologize to the Uchiha clan at worst. The various performances of the tribesmen came into view. Hinata Yoshitatsu did not speak, nor did he show any special expression. Because all of this was not formed overnight, just like the freezing of 3 feet is not achieved in a day. There is a cause, there must be an effect. After passing through a slightly long and complicated courtyard, along the wooden corridor, Hinata Ryutatsu arrived at the annex of the clan leader, Hinata Hiten. This is also the most imposing and grand courtyard of the Hyuga clan. For decades, the Hyuga clan that joined Konoha was based here. The clan chiefs of the past dynasties also held discussions here one after another. As soon as he entered the hall, various discussions came from it. There are many who speak fiercely among them. I'm afraid even Ri Xiangxiao would not have thought that Ri Xiongguang's actions would cause such a big reaction. The opinions of the people inside were still the same. Since ancient times, the Hyuga clan has worked conscientiously and strictly abided by the rules passed down by their ancestors. Things like politics and reputation are not what the Hyuga clan cares about most. Protecting the Byakugan is the foundation for the survival of the Hyuga clan. Although they are protected by the big tree of Konoha, the Hyuga clan has no idea of fighting for power. He is low-key, responsible, and sticks to his 1/3 of an acre of land. Not to mention becoming a high-level official in Konoha, even entering the Umbu was something that no one in the Hyuga clan had ever thought about. I, Hyuga Yoshikage, just want to live a peaceful life. This is the daily work routine of a Hyuga clan member. The conflict between Hyuga Hikaru and Uchiha Futaba was tantamount to destroying the Hyuga clan's long-standing rules of survival. This is to apologize to the entire Rishi clan. The arrival of Hinata's good time made the place quiet for a moment. It's not just because Hyuga Yoshitatsu was entrusted by the former clan leader to take on the responsibility of supervising the clan leader of the Hyuga clan. More importantly, Hinata Ryotetsu, when he was young, was a tough guy, even more stubborn than his disciple Hinata Xiao. Beat the sky and beat the air. Although his temper has somewhat softened as he grew older, everyone here has still not forgotten the horror of being dominated by Hinata Yoshiaki. If this were not the case, in the original work, it would not be possible for the older Hinata Yoshiaki to make suggestions for Hinata. Now, the future leader of the Hyuga clan, Hinata Hisashi, is just a 12-year-old genin boy. He was sitting quietly next to his father, with a look of arrogance on his face. As an observer and the next leader of the clan, I am here to listen to the discussions of the clan. Except for him, this room was full of elderly people. There are no Hyuga clan members under 30 years old. Among them, there are several inconspicuous figures in the lower seats. They wore forehead protectors and kept their heads bowed. Naturally, the ones who need to wear forehead protectors in the Hyuga clan's courtyard are the branch families. They have no role to speak here. Being called here means just listening to the sound, giving instructions when the time comes, and receiving orders. Among the people in the row of people who were discussing, they were all ninjas from the clan. Isn't that kid Hisashi here? Hinata Yashida glanced around and found no sign of Hinata Hisashi. Hinata Hisashi, the younger brother of Hinata Hisashi, and the second son of Hinata Hitsun, the leader of the Hyuga clan. Unlike my brother, because he was born a little later, and the number of clan members at that time exceeded the previous limit. Hinata and Hisashi were divided into branch families. It can be said that I was born at the wrong time. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 10. The reason for shouting like this is just that Hinata Hikari simply thinks it's fun. Even now that the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan are still alive, the fools of the Hyuga clan still shout these words that have been on their lips since the founding of the village. The Senju and Uchiha groups disdain this rather brainwashing statement. In their opinion, this is just the arrogance of the Hyuga clan. However, after hearing these words, Ri Xiangxiao seemed to be touched. He nodded and said, "Yes, my Hyuga clan is the largest clan in Konoha." This sentence was said with great pride and full of emotion. Hinata Hikaru thinks this is not fun. She scratched her little head and returned to her seat. The other students in the classroom looked at Hinata with mixed feelings in their hearts. The Hyuga clan was famous for being mentally ill, but no one had taken her seriously before. But he didn't expect that he would become a blockbuster on the first day of school. Many children weighed the strength comparison between themselves and Sarutobi Ryusuke, and immediately gave up the idea of mocking Hinata Hikaru. Namikaze Minato looked at the back in front of him. He smiled as he sat behind Hinata Hikari, then picked up the book and started reading. Life in the ninja school passed slowly. Ever since Hinata Hikaru won the competition between Sarutobi Ryusuke, many students' attitudes towards Hinata Hikari have quietly changed. They either gritted their teeth and worked hard, or secretly tried their best. For a while, no one took the initiative to provoke Hinata. Top students disdain to do this kind of thing, and there is no glory in bullying a mentally ill person. Besides, they can defeat Senju Fengxiang at will if they want. This is just a boring farce. Those bad students who are worse than Senju Fengxiang do it because they think they may not be able to beat him and have to practice again. Of course, there are still people who are eager to give it a try. Because Senju Haoxiang only said verbally that he lost to Hinata Hikaru in physical skills, after all, they had never seen it with their own eyes, so they silently observed Hinata Hikaru's physical skills performance, waiting for opportunities. The first day of ninja school was spent like this. In the days that followed, the curriculum of the ninja school gradually got on the right track. Familiar lessons were experienced, and Hinata Hikari couldn't help but feel a sense of nostalgia. Hinata Hikaru studied or reviewed the basic chakra refining courses, taijutsu classes, theory classes, ninja tool throwing and other courses seriously. The ancients, review the past and learn the new. Hinata Hikaru believes that it will be beneficial to do it all over again, because the ancients never deceived this leader. The days passed, and finally, it was the turn of the ninjutsu class. Everyone. The head teacher, Mr. Doze, stood in the lecture hall and looked around at his students. He is in his 20s, looks kind-hearted, and looks like a good guy. In fact, it does. It's been a month since everyone entered school. According to the schedule, let's take over and let's learn ninjutsu together. Dozawa's words suddenly made the atmosphere in the classroom warm. Most of the students seemed very excited. On the one hand, it is because the students feel bored by the basic chakra refining and boring physical training courses. On the other hand, most of the students are from civilian backgrounds, and there is no bloodline limit or family inheritance. In other words, if you want to learn the three-body technique, there is no one to teach you and you can only get it from the ninja school. So, how can they not be excited? Children from big families are much calmer, because they have excellent family resources and started preschool education before they entered school. Doze was also very happy to see that the teaching atmosphere, which had gradually turned into a trap, was finally turning lively again. He raised his hands and waved them to signal the students to be quiet. Following we will learn the first ninjutsu, the clone jutsu. This is a ninjutsu that most ninjas must learn and can also learn. The seal is Wei-Sin, and the requirement is 5 completed within seconds. As Doze spoke, he began to form seal slowly so that the students could see clearly. The moment he completed the seal, a burst of white smoke rose around him, and then, an identical Tangs appeared on the podium. Suddenly, there was a burst of exclamations in the classroom. The students were all excitedly whispering to each other, or making seals on their own, completely ignoring Dozawa who was demonstrating the clone technique. Because now they just want to learn the clone technique and then beat Hinata. So what if Dozawa can create 1 clone, but Hinata Hikaru can create 30? A month ago. Tangs was speechless, but fortunately the students were very motivated to study, which made him quite pleased. But in this beautiful classroom, there is one child who seems out of place. That is Hyuga Hikaru. Hinata doesn't form seals or talk to others. Hyugako, why don't you practice the clone technique? Dozawa walked to Hinata Hikaru and asked. When Dozawa first knew that the mentally ill Hinata family was assigned to his own class, he refused at first. Because you can't let me teach her, I will teach her. Other teachers would scold me. But fortunately, apart from the occasional shocking remarks, Hinata didn't do anything too outrageous. If he doesn't talk quietly, he is definitely a very cute and good boy. But as soon as she opens her mouth, she turns into a mentally ill girl who makes people feel sad. Quack. Hinata smiled strangely and said nothing. She doesn't practice the clone jutsu because she has completely mastered this ninjutsu and there is no need to practice it. When the other students saw Dozawa and Hinata talking to each other, they suddenly thought of a question. By the way, Mr. Dozawa, how many clones can you create at most? This one. Tangs felt that the student asked a good question. Dozawa held his head high with a smile on his face. Teacher, I am a Chuyunin, I can create 10 clones. Tangs raised his hands and fingers very proudly. How about it, isn't it awesome? Haha, this is something you can't do at all. As he spoke, the classroom suddenly became quiet. A strange silence spread in this space. Tangs was suddenly puzzled. Why are these students silent? Because the students were looking at each other, they didn't expect that even Dozawa, a Chuyunin, could only create 10 clones. And Hikari Hinata, a little psychopath, was so accomplished in the art of cloning that he actually killed their class teacher in an instant. Regardless of whether the clone technique is E-level or a useless shadow. They only know. Being surpassed by a little psycho is a shame for a normal person. Simply put. I'm so unwilling. Everyone beat their chests and stamped their feet, feeling extremely sad and angry. Because they understood one thing. Even if they reach the level of Mr. Dozawa and become Chuyunin, generally speaking, they cannot compare to the current Hinata Hikari. The classroom that originally had a high learning atmosphere was suddenly shrouded in a cloud of doubt about life. Funeral. In an instant, the classroom became dejected.